Hello crazy coders, welcome back to the second part of our rock paper scissors game which we are building using Python Pygame. And as you can already see, we have a Pygame window, we have some text and also buttons. These are the things we added in our first part of this game, so do check out before continuing with this part. And yeah, what we're gonna add today is when we select any weapon, rock paper or scissor, by clicking on these buttons, the user screen will disappear. For example, if I click on rock, we see the text gone and we see a image on the left side resembling our weapon, which has I selected rock, and on the right side there is a weapon image which is selected by the computer. And also when I click on something else, that if I select paper, there's a blink effect, and then on the left side we have our weapon and the right side we have our computer weapon. So that's what we're gonna add in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I will do is I will create a variable eStart now to check if the user has started playing the game or is on the user screen. So initially I will keep it false, and I will just check the condition that if eStart is false, then only display this text. Okay, I will just do this. So only if it's false, display the play message, which is our welcome to rock paper scissors game and pick your weapon, so start playing. So this should not be visible when the game has already started. So when does the game start? When user actually picks a weapon. And how we are detecting the weapon selection is basically we are just checking a collision between a button and a mouse event. So in this, if we make eStart is equal to true, that will do our work. Okay, so now I'll just copy paste in other game starts as well, like even if he selects a paper, even if he selects a scissor. So what this will basically do is when you run the program, initially it will be start will be false, and yeah, start will be, this condition will become true and we will be able to see the user screen text. But if any player picks any weapon by clicking on the button, then eStart will be true, this condition will evaluate to be false, and yeah, we will not be able to see this text. So now let's run the file and let's pick a weapon. So as you can see, I have clicked a weapon, a rock, and the screen disappeared, right? And even I can click all other things. So as you can see, we are able to see a selection and the screen text is gone. Okay, so that's great. That's the first thing we have achieved. Now the second thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna import our we're gonna load our main images of rock paper scissors, which which are located in our graphics, and that are paper png, rock png, and scissor png. So we're going to load all these three images in our file program basically. So let's do that. So what I have done is I have just used our traditional image loading in Pygame, which is pygame.image.load, and then you pass our path, which is in graphics rock, in graphics paper, and in graphics scissor, and I have assigned them to rock paper scissor variable. And the first thing is I will create actually a list from all these three, and I will just create a list with name, weapon, choices, and I will just create like rock, paper, and scissor. Okay, this will help us to select your weapons for desired button directly using this list. Okay, now that's great. So the first thing I will do is when the user presses rock, we will give a rock. So for that I will just create a variable name user weapon, and for initially I will give it none, and when the user selects the rock, what I will do is from weapon choices pick the 0th location weapon, which is our rock. And similarly with our paper, we're gonna select our first location, and in the scissor we're gonna select a second location. which is the basically second index, which is the third value, which is a scissor. So this image will be rendered. So as we got the user weapon through our list, and now how we're going to display is basically I will create another variable named is user weapon. So basically it will check if a weapon has been selected or not. So initially it will be false, and in the conditions I will make it true, and how we're going to display is, so after making it true, we're going to use if statement which says if is user weapon. So if user weapon is available, we're going to just screen.split our user weapon at location 60 comma 70. Okay, now if I run this, and when I click the rock, we are able to see a rock, and if I click paper, we are able to see the paper, and if we click scissor, we are able to see a scissor. So that's great. And now the second thing I want to add is we'll create a logic for also selecting a weapon for computer as well. So for that we will import our random module. It's very simple, and from the random module, whenever a user selects a weapon, we also want the computers to select a weapon. So for that what I will do is I will just calculate a random index from random dot rand int, and I will pass 0 to 2, and from the index what I will get is from the index I will get 1 or 2. So from that what I will get is I will create a comp weapon variable, and in the comp weapon we'll just choose weapon choices index. So we don't know what index will be given by this. It will be random, either 0, 1 or 2. So it will be either rock paper scissor, and we will store it on comp weapon. So but initially I will make comp weapon none. Okay, comp weapon is equal to none, and now I will just repeat it for others as well. I think repeating is not a good option. I'll just create a function, but let's get it started. So I think I will just screen.split and this time comp weapon, and I think I will use almost 360 350 comma 70. Okay, these will be a coordinate. So now let's run. So now if I click on rock, we are able to see a rock as well. If click on paper, we have that means basically comp has selected the rock, and if I select scissor, we have selected scissor, and the computer has selected paper. So that's great. But as you can see, we are repeating a lot of code, and we need to also add the blink effect. So the first thing I will do is I will move all this repetition into a function. So for that I will just create a function named def pick weapon, and I will just pass index here for a moment, and it will update all our global variables. So let's import our all global variables as well, like this, and is user weapon. Okay, now after this I'll just copy paste all this. Okay, let's cut paste, and yes, we have to do all this. But now I will just update this variable comp weapon index, and from the index we are taking here, we will pass here. So okay, and we'll do this. Okay, user weapon index. After naming this variable this, I will just pass all this. I will add spaces here. Okay, so I think this looks good, and now we have to just use this function here, which in the rock I will just pass 0 because it's on the 0th location, and in our paper we will pass 1, and in our scissor we will pass 2. So this will do our work, and okay, it's not Oh, weapon, right? Weapon. Okay, cool. I'll just copy paste it. Okay, wow, I am doing all these mistakes. Okay, I think this looks great. And I will add it in space here as well. So yes, we are done with making functions. So this will do all the things which we are doing when user selects a weapon. But this as we create a function, we just have to call the function and it will just start the game. And as the user, you know, a user selects a user weapon based on the index passed, and also selects a computer weapon. And yeah, now if I run this file, when I run this, it's working fine. Okay, so our function logic is correct as well. So now let's try to add a blink effect. Okay, so as you can see, if computer selecting same things or we are selecting same things, it does not seem to be changing, right? So to avoid it, I will add a blink effect, but for that I will just change the frame rate first of all. So for that I will import clock. I will initialize clock basically, and I will show it from pygame.time dot clock. We are getting the clock, and when you update the click parameter, so basically when we give a tick a value, it will be a frame rate. So for example, for this game I will just give 10 for the blink effect to look good. Now to add a blink effect, what I will do is I will just add a variable. Now is show weapon. I will just add this variable, and the variable will be like initially false. And what I will check is if use a weapon, then is show weapon will be true. Okay, and if this will be true, then what I will do is I will check here basically if is show weapon, I will show. Oh, this is the kind of logic I am going with. So basically initially this variable will be false, and whenever user selects something, okay, so first it goes into this loop and picks a weapon for him. But since it is checking first is show weapon, so this will be false, and we will not be able to see our weapons because is show his weapon is false. But in the same loop we are updating the is show weapon true, so for the next time this will evaluate will be true, and yeah, we will be able to see our user weapon and competitive weapon. Okay, now okay, let's run this. Let's check our logic. When we are clicking on the rock, we have a blink effect. Okay, we are not having a blink effect after the first attempt, so because we are not updating the show weapon and variable in our pick. Okay, so whenever we are picking a weapon, we want to make sure this becomes false. So for the first time in the loop we will not be able to go into this if statement. Okay, now it's showing error because it's a global variable and we are updating it, so we have to tell in the global keyword. Okay, now I think this looks perfect. Yeah, I think we see the blink effect. Again we are seeing the blink effect, again we are seeing the blink effect. So that was it from this video, and in the next video we will check who is the winner and will update the score. So that's gonna be a wonderful video, so do subscribe. And yeah, thank you for watching. We will catch you up in the next video.